Hi, I'm Alyssa with the blog harborhome32.com, and today in my video I'd like to talk to you a little bit about hospitality and a few tips on how you can feel prepared and ready for your guests no matter what kind of day you've had, no matter what kind of life you have going on. We have guests coming over today, so I'm going to give you guys a quick little just bring you along with me as I prepare for my guests. We have someone coming over for dinner tonight, and a few things that I'm going to do just as like a quick little clean up, tidy up before they get here is I'm going to wipe out this bathroom, just wipe off the counters, wipe down the toilet seats, maybe the mirror, and then over here through there is our mudroom. I'm going to vacuum that out, and besides like general cleaning, that's all I'm going, or general just like tidying up and setting the table for dinner. Oopsies. That's all I'm gonna do. Because of a somewhat regular cleaning routine that I have found that this makes hosting a lot less stressful. When you have a few things that you do all the time, no matter what, like for me, it's the dishes. I vacuum the floor, the main floor, every single night, mainly because I'm pregnant and don't like to sleep with my big belly. And so instead of sleeping the kitchen floor, I just vacuum it. It takes maybe 2 minutes, and then I just finish off the rest of the main floor. I've got a pretty small house, so it's really not that much work. And then I also like to mop about every other night. So after I'm done vacuuming, after dinner dishes are done, I will take the mop out and just quick go over the floor. So that way, if I have people coming over, I know that I've hit the floor at least 3 times a week. And that may seem like a lot to some people, and it was for me for a while. I just started this, but it has been so freeing to just know that if someone says, oh, hey, I'm gonna come over, or we've got something scheduled, I don't have to be like, oh my gosh, no, because my floor is disgusting and because I haven't picked up anything in the house for a week. So just having that regular routine just makes it a lot less stressful. So you just have to, all you have to do if someone is actually coming over, just wipe things down really quick, do a quick tidy, round up the kids' toys, and that's pretty much it. So today is real time. It's about 1:45 in the afternoon. Our guest isn't coming over for dinner until after 5 o'clock, but I have another friend coming over just for a quick visit. So Patrick's napping. I'm just gonna do this really quick, and then I can rest easy. And then I can make iced coffee and chill, or I just have more mental space. I'm not freaking out about having people over. Another thing that I like to do in our house when we have people coming over is take a quick glance at the shoe situation in the entryway. I'll show you what I mean here. Our back room, so this whole little entryway, comes off of our driveway. This is like the quickest access to our house. We don't have a sidewalk that goes to the front door. And so most people come through here, but this room also serves as our garbage room, our garden center, all my harvesting baskets, some drying herbs, all our coat closet. We don't have any closets in this house for coats, so you see all of our coats and bags hanging over here in this little bench area. And then yes, all of our shoes. All these shoes. Looks pretty organized, but they're really not in a lot of ways. I don't care so much about how particular they are. The main point that I wanted to make here is that we don't have a lot of space to just hang people's stuff. So what I like to do is just to provide a little bit more of a welcoming presence. If I have time, I like to move some shoes around depending on how many people are coming over, and just literally make space, make room for the guests to put their shoes. And see there, now when you walk in, they're like, oh great, I can put my shoes there. Also, I like to just move a few of our things over onto a different hook, because that then allows there to be a space for someone to hang a jacket or a bag if they need to. Now, this is one of those things that it's like if I have time, but while I'm out here with the vacuum, I definitely had time. That took me maybe 30 seconds to do. It's not like spotless clean, but another thing that I have learned in just my experience of being a guest at other people's homes, hosting people myself, is people actually feel a little bit more comfortable when a space feels tidy and clean, but also lived in. Like when you walk into a hotel, you're like, oh, everything's so nice and shiny and clean, and you don't want to touch anything. You don't want that feeling when someone comes in your house, because especially a mom with little kids, you know you're gonna be tracking in dirt. You're gonna be tracking in crumbs from the car. You're gonna be tracking in all kinds of stuff. And so it's can be less stress on your guests if they look at your space and feel like, oh yeah, they're prepared for me. It's clean, but it's not like spotless. Like if they see a little bit of dirt on that floor mat, like that's okay. I did vacuum just now, so things are clean, but it's not like I took a scrub bucket to the whole entire floor before they came over. So that helps a lot, I think, in also just taking the stress off yourself, being clean and prepared for your guest, but not being overly picky to where you're stressing yourself out, and then you may very well in return be stressing your guest out by having too clean of a house. So that's another tip. Now, one thing I wanted to address right away is, what is hospitality? It can be really confusing when you hear the word hospitality, because you can think about hospitality industry, the hotel, the restaurants, or you can think about entertaining. The word entertaining is very different than hospitality. So entertaining in my mind would be throwing a big birthday party, or throwing a shower, or a special dinner party of some kind. Now, can you show hospitality in those ways? Yes, you absolutely can. But when I talk about hospitality on my blog and on this channel, it is in regards to more so the day in and out, weekly ins and outs of having people over to your home in a way that is welcoming them just into a home that's open, loving, showing them care, whether it's a girlfriend's just dropping by quick for a cup of coffee because she had a really bad day, or you're watching someone's child because they are sick and just need a little extra help. Basically, the concept of hospitality I'm thinking about is more of a casual opening of your home as a way to minister to people, as a way to show them you love them and care for them, and that your home is a place where they can find comfort and refuge and relationship and fellowship. Now, I have put out a survey or two a while ago on Instagram asking people what their biggest hurdle is in showing hospitality. And overwhelmingly, it is not a perfect house. And I fall into this category myself. I have thought many times and told my husband many times, like, oh, I haven't been able to clean, or we just don't have enough space, or, whatever it is. The house itself is something that can stop a lot of people from wanting to open up their doors and show hospitality. Cleaning being one of those. Inevitably, that is really unfortunate that we let our homes, the spaces that we occupy, the things that we've been given in this life to steward, that instead of using them as a gift, we actually let them stop us from doing ministry, from being relational, from being caring and servant-hearted. And so I am guilty about this as anyone. And even in this, we've been living here, we're in our second year of living in this house. The whole first year, we barely had anybody over because, well, it was a pandemic, first of all. So there's just that level of uncomfortableness, not really sure what to do about different situations, how people feel comfortable, what they don't feel comfortable with. And then kids, they just add another level, just all of that kind of stuff. It really just kept me from wanting to open up my home to people. However, now that we've been here a year and things in the pandemic have changed a little bit, and now that my son is a lot more social, I'm finding the ability to be more social myself. So this summer we've actually had quite a few people over. And it's been just really life-giving for both my husband and I, for our child. And so I'm kind of learning this alongside with you as I'm talking, and as I'm sharing this, I wanted to just share a few things that I have experienced in the last year that have helped me kind of overcome this fear, I guess you could say, of opening my home when my house isn't perfect, when I don't feel like I have enough space, all that kind of stuff. So one of the biggest things that has helped me overcome just the feeling of needing to have a perfect home is just that knowing nobody does. No one has a perfectly clean house, perfectly decorated house, perfectly tidy house. That just isn't a thing, especially if you have little ones running around. Just knowing that other people are in that same boat and they're not expecting perfection when they come into your house is huge. That's one thing. Second of all is just thinking about the heart behind why you're doing what you're doing. Are you opening your home because you want people to see how well you have decorated it? Are you wanting people to see how, I don't know, there's a million reasons why, or a million reasons as to what it is that you could be wanting people to experience in your home that maybe isn't necessarily what is behind the heart of true hospitality. And so just addressing that in yourself can help you kind of overcome that little, whatever fear it is that you have. Another thing that I have found that makes hosting it a little bit easier is to have really simple meal options or food options like at the ready. Now, I really love cooking. I really love good food. I love to try new recipes. But when it comes to having people over, I have started noticing how much less stress I have with I just make something super simple, but make it really tasty. For example, spaghetti and meatballs. We love spaghetti around here. We eat it maybe once a week or more. And we have some fresh herbs in our garden, which just make homemade spaghetti so incredibly tasty. So I've learned how to take a really simple meal and just make it, just elevate it a little bit with the different flavors and things, so that you can be excited about hosting people over for dinner, having a simple meal that you know that they'll like, you know you probably won't screw up. It can be just a really simple thing, and you don't have to think a lot about it. So having some simple things like that just in your back pocket, or having like a go-to type of a like snack or drink option. So like I love making iced coffee. Most of my friends like iced coffee. So I just always offer iced coffee when people come over. Want a cup of iced coffee? And if I happen to have a scone or happen to have something else to give them, I will. But it's not necessary to feed people a huge big course if they're coming over for even just like a quick little visit. And in addition to that, just having some cold water in the fridge is always great. Not everyone wants coffee, not everyone likes coffee, but everyone could always go for a nice iced glass of water. So keeping that really simple. If you have little kids coming over, I like to have goldfish on hand and applesauce. Every kid likes goldfish and applesauce most of the time. And so I've even taught my son how to offer goldfish to his friends when they come over. I get him excited about it, say, hey, this person's coming over. When they come over, we're gonna show them some hospitality. We're gonna give them some goldfish. Can you help me serve the goldfish? And he loves it. He's 2. He goes over to the cupboard, grabs the goldfish, and offers goldfish to the people coming in. So, or his friends coming in, the friends his age. So there are just some really simple things that you can do like that to make people feel welcome and without putting a lot of stress on yourself. Another thing that's helped me in my life as a homemaker and someone that's now opening my home is having somewhat of a regular cleaning routine. I don't mean schedule. I don't mean like Mondays we must do this, Tuesdays we must do that, Thursdays we must do this. Just having like a rhythm of your home where you are cleaning it in a certain way that when people come over, you're not, or even if they're coming over last minute, you don't be like, oh my gosh, no, you can't come over because I haven't vacuumed my floor in 2 weeks and I haven't, whatever it is. Just keep up on just really simple daily cleaning so that when someone comes over, I'm not like freaking out. I've been telling myself lately when I'm hosting and I'm like freaking out about all the details, I'm like, this house is a home. It is not a museum or an event center. I literally tell myself that because it's true. This house is a home, and I want people to have a homey feel when they come here, so that if they are ever in a place of need, they know that they can find a refuge and comfort here as like a little piece of home, even though it's not their home, you know what I mean? Just like they feel at home here. So those are a few of my tips just hashed out. My major hope in this video was to give you guys a little bit of inspiration and just get you thinking about things for your own home. Every home is so unique. Every home is very nuanced. There is nothing that is copycat about everyone else's home. Your home is unique to you, your family dynamics, your family schedule, your family values, what it is you hope to accomplish, just how you interact with other people. Like everything is just so incredibly nuanced, as is the actual physical house that you live in. And so I just want to share a few little things about my specific home that have kind of shaped the way I prepare for guests, and then I will have a few just questions for you guys so that you can apply this to your own home as well. So we have a pretty, it's not a small house. We love our house. We fill it out. It's great. We can have people over, but it's not the average square foot that you see. I think it's still under 1,700 square feet. It was built in 1890. All that to say, we have this bathroom right here. This is our main bathroom that not only do we use, but that our guests use. And there is something funky about our toilet in that it just is always nasty. Like one person goes to the bathroom and it is disgusting. There's smudges on the back, the toilet seat, and I mean, I could clean that thing every single day because it's just that weird and it just gets so gross every single day. But am I going to clean my toilet every single day? No. But it's the thing I'm most conscious of when people come over. When I hear someone coming over, I'm like, better check the toilet. Better check to make sure there's not any poop smears from earlier in the day on the back of the toilet. And guess what? There always is. So I make a priority of scrubbing that toilet no matter what. Even if that's the only thing I do to prepare for someone to come over, I make sure that toilet is scrubbed. So that's a nuance about our little house that I just always make sure is ready. Second of all, you heard me talk about the mudroom. That mudroom, we call it a mudroom. It's really our back entryway. It's where we keep our garbage. It's like the only entryway that we have. There's no closet space. That is a very nuanced thing for our house. And so making a little bit of extra space and just taking one extra effort to do a once over in that room really does help with the just the welcoming aspect of our house. One thing I've also been doing lately is lighting a candle in that room for like maybe 20 minutes before someone comes over, just because we've stopped using a diaper genie in our house because I cannot contain the smell. No matter how much baking soda I use, no matter how much bleach I use, no matter how many like scented Arm & Hammer diaper pail bags we use, like that thing, it just stinks. What we usually do is we don't use it anymore. It's out of the house. I take his poopy diaper and I throw it in the garbage in the room back there. But that also means that room it just contains odors, you know? When people come over, that's another thing that I do. I always make sure that garbage is just like out of there, the poopy diaper is gone. I open up the windows, light a candle, make sure that the smells that are just lingering in that room from having our recycling bin and our tall garbage can with diapers in it is hopefully not offensive to walk into. So those are the things for me that when I think about having someone come over, those are the things that I just absolutely make sure that I will get done. Now, to help you kind of think about that, what is the one thing in your house that just either you're most embarrassed about, that just makes you so uncomfortable, like I'd be mortified if anyone like walked into our house feeling this way, or walked into our house seeing this thing, or whatever it is. What is it for you? What is the thing for you that just makes you so uncomfortable with the idea of someone coming into your house? And think about, even if you do nothing else, even if you don't vacuum, if you don't, wipe off the counters, whatever it is. Can you do that one thing? Can you make that one thing a priority and then forget about the rest? That can help relieve some stress for you. What are the things in your home that are nuanced, like the toilet example or the entry room example? What is it about your specific home just makes it more stressful for you to host, and how can you make that little piece of it a priority to make yourself a little less stressed about having someone come over and keeping yourself from expressing and sharing hospitality. I hope this was helpful in helping you guys think about those things, what it is that you could do to make hosting people a little less stressful and kind of overcoming the fear of having a perfect house for your guests. So if you liked this video, please hit the subscribe button and come back for more. See you later.